You're going to want, as I was saying, pillows off your bed, or a blanket or a couple of cushions off of your sofa or something similar. Yeah, for those of you who've not joined me before, welcome. Today is really just an opportunity for you to slow down. There's nothing that you have to do here, everything is a choice. If you're really enjoying a particular pose, you are so welcome to just stay in it. You don't need to move on to the next one until you're ready to. Equally, if anything doesn't feel comfortable, you can make your way out, either finding yourself a pose that you really enjoy, or you are welcome to just pop back on the chat, wave at me, or just say my name out loud and I'll come and help out. Yeah, I would like you to try and be as comfortable as possible throughout this entire thing. Nothing is supposed to feel like effort. I think that's the main thing to take away from today. So yeah, we're going to start sitting. So find a comfortable seat. If you want to, you can sit up onto one of your pillows already. And a comfortable seat can be cross-leg, it could be straight leg. You could have the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor, whatever feels good. And then just start to close your eyes. Just take a moment to settle yourself in. Become aware of the space around you. Notice the sensation of your feet, your legs and your bottom touching whatever might be beneath you, whether it's a yoga mat, a rug, your bed. Allow your awareness to begin to sink into your body. Each time you exhale, see if you can relax your shoulders a little. Your arms can rest onto your legs or into your lap. There's nowhere else that you need to be. Nothing else that you need to be doing. I want to encourage you throughout our practice today to see if you can have a neutral attitude towards your body. It's very easy with our endometriosis or any other similar conditions that you might have to feel very self-critical if you don't come into a pose exactly how you think you should, or if something is uncomfortable or painful. And I want you to think about the idea that there's no right or wrong way for you to be practicing this today. If something hurts or is uncomfortable, change it. There's nothing wrong with your body, there's something wrong with the props or the surface that you're lying on. See if you can make it more comfortable, more supportive. This is about what you deserve, as opposed to an opportunity for criticism. I'd like you to take your awareness into your breath. There's no need to change it, just simply observing your breath. Become aware of whether the breath feels easy and comfortable, whether there is any tightness or restriction. And remembering there's not a right or wrong way for you to be breathing. Does each breath feel deep or shallow? Whereabouts are you most aware of the breath in your body? Is it as you inhale through your nose or mouth? Is it in the movement of your shoulders? A slight lift in your chest under your collarbones as you inhale, and the dropping down as you exhale. Are you aware of it in the expansion and contraction of your rib cage, whether that is at the front of the body, the sides, or into your back? Maybe it's down into your tummy and a gentle movement with each breath of your tummy. This is just a really nice way for you to get to know your breath a little bit better. A way for your mind to drop into the present moment. With your next exhale, drop your chin towards your chest. Notice if there is a stretch through the back of your neck. Maybe it goes into your head, down into your shoulders. And then if it feels nice, start to roll your head from side to side. You might be just going in a semicircle, or you might go all the way around in a full circle if that feels good. Going the other way if you were doing full circles. Really noticing how it feels through your neck, into your shoulders and back. Is there anywhere that feels a little bit tight? Anywhere that feels nice and soft? And then next time that your chin comes towards your chest, just pausing here. Lift the gaze a little, just start to roll one shoulder back. You might bring the elbow or the arm in a little as well, whatever feels nice. And then going back the other way. And what we're trying to do here is just gently start to wake our bodies up. In particular, the front and back of our body, because we're going to be doing a little bit of gentle back bending today. Good. Release that arm down, switch to the other one. Nice shoulder circles, big as you can comfortably make them. You can use the elbow as well, like I am. You might take the whole arm round if that feels good. So yeah, with our endometriosis, we tend to carry a lot of tension in the fronts of our bodies. This can be a combination of factors, whether it is just through pain in the tummy, if you've got anything going on with your diaphragm, switch the arm circle. It might also be that you carry a lot of shoulder tension, which tends to cause us to round forwards through the body. Grief and sadness as well does this too. Good. Relax that arm down. Okay, we're going to come over onto all fours. You can have a pillow under your knees if you get knee issues like I do. You can have flat hands, or you can be up on fists. Let me adjust this slightly so you can see. And as you inhale, you're going to drop the belly down and lift your gaze up. As you exhale, round through your spine and look down towards your knees. So inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, looking down. So just moving with your body. It doesn't need to be a big movement. It just wants to feel like you're getting a little bit of opening, a little bit of stretching. Like your body's starting to wake up. And if you want to, you can turn this into what my burlesque instructor used to call a disco cat, where you roll round through the spine. So this is a little bit more of an all-rounder movement. And you can pause if you find anywhere that feels particularly achy. You can take the body side to side. I really like this one because it's not often that we just move our body however it wants to move. If you're getting a little urge to do something else, whether it's to like sit the hips back, whether you want to just gently tuck the toes as you press back, so you get a little stretch through the soles of your feet. And just taking this opportunity to listen to what your body's telling you about what it would like. Maybe all you want to do is just have a little lie down, and that's fine too. Good. And then we're going to make our way back to our all fours. And then sit back over onto your bottom. So the first pose that we're going to do is going to be a fish pose. Now for this one, I would suggest having 2 of your bed pillows, like longer pillows. If you've got a blanket, then I would do quite a long fold. So something along the lines of that. And maybe having a couple of blankets. Now, how kind of thick this support is really going to be up to you. I want you to be comfortable, so if it feels like a big stretch, lose a pillow, unfold your blanket a little bit further. So you're going to sit just in front of the pillow, so your bottom is on the floor, and then I like to start off with knees bent. You're going to start to walk the hands back, so the lower back begins to rest onto the pillows, all the way back so that your head is also supported. And once you're here, you can have like a little readjust. It might feel like you need a little bit more support under your head, in which case grab another blanket or a pillow and pop it in just under where your head goes. And then I'd like you to take your arms out as wide as they will comfortably go. Now, if you're in a slightly narrower room, then it might be that you either have the arm out to the side and bring the hand in towards your chest, or if it feels comfortable, you might let the hand drop back so the back of the hand comes towards the floor. If your hand is dangling here, don't leave it like that because it's just going to put strain on your shoulder. Instead, pick hand on chest or arm out to the side. You could also do hand onto belly as well. Just keep the elbows nice and wide. Now, the reason I start with knees bent is because, like I said, we carry a lot of tension through our front bodies here. And so by bending the knees, it just takes a little bit of the extra stretch away. However, if you feel great like this, you might choose to extend the legs away from you, and this just gets you a little bit more gentle opening through the fronts of the hip sockets. If you're like me, I love a cross leg. So I like a cross leg here. You can also do a Baddha, which is where the feet come together and then the knees drop out to either side. I'm just going to change angle so that you can definitely see what I'm doing here. So I'm either coming into a cross leg like this, or a Baddha like this. But again, if any of this feels too strong, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, you might even drop the knees in towards each other so that you can actually really relax through your hip sockets. And once you've found your comfortable position, then you can start to close your eyes or soften your gaze. By opening the arms out to the side, what happens is that we get a little bit of extra stretch going from shoulder to shoulder rather than just from sort of throat to pelvis. This is nice just for extra opening. Again, it's the same idea of us trying to reverse this feeling of rounding forwards, of like being pulled forwards by our pain or our sadness, our stress. And so with your eyes closed or your soft gaze, you can just begin to notice how the pose feels in your body. If it feels like you're holding tension anywhere, for example, if it feels like you might be holding tension in your hip sockets, I want you to just gently give your bottom a little squeeze. Maybe up into the thighs if you can. Maybe even just wiggling the bottom and the knees side to side a little bit. And you can do this whether you've got the legs straight or in your cross leg or anything like that. Just a nice little wiggle side to side. And then start to soften. So maybe just give your bottom like a little jiggle. And then let it stop. Let it soften. Maybe that feels a little bit softer than it did a moment ago. And we're going to do the same with the shoulders. So I want you to just gently do some little shoulder rolls where you are. You might even stretch the arms up to the sky again. Maybe squeeze the hands in towards your chest. Just moving the shoulders around, moving the arms. And then when it feels like you're starting to feel ready, you can just soften the arms down again and then notice the difference. Can your arms feel heavy? And the shoulders drop back into the ground beneath you. I want you to allow your breath to be easy and comfortable, whatever that might mean for you. And if that's not possible, don't worry. Sometimes things just don't quite work how we want them to, and that's okay. Maybe check back in, notice where you're most aware of your breath. time that you exhale, see if you can invite softness into your body. I'm going to stay here for just a few more breaths. Each time that you exhale, feeling the heaviness through your head, into your shoulders and your arms. Exhaling heaviness through your back. Softness in your tummy. Heaviness in your hips and your pelvis. Heaviness in your legs all the way down to your feet. Feel your forehead begin to soften. You might even choose to gently sigh out a couple of breaths. Start to bring a little movement back into your fingers and toes. You might choose to stretch your arms up towards the sky. If your legs were bent, straighten them out. If your legs are straight, you can bend them in. And the best way to come out of this pose is for you to roll to one side. So bending the knees, rolling over, and then nice and slowly press your way up. The next pose that we do is going to be another little back bend, and we're just going to change it very slightly. Now this one, it's a little bit deeper than this first one that we've just done. So you've got two options. One is that you can stick with the pillows off your bed, and if you found that last one, like you could really feel the opening, you might choose to just have one pillow off your bed. If you've got a blanket, then get one that's rolled up slightly differently, then I would take it, shape it out so it's like a decent size. I don't know how big is that, like the size of a pillow basically, and then roll it into a little sausage. And you don't want your sausage to be too thick. You can kind of see it's not very big. So I'm going to show you with the pillows first of all, because that's the easy one, and then I'm going to come out and I'll show you with the blanket, and you can decide which one you would prefer. So with the pillows, I'm going to lose a pillow. And then the pillow is going to go across your kind of mid to upper back area. Now once you get in, you'll probably feel whereabouts feels like the right spot. What you do with your legs, again, same as the last one, it's up to you. So for me, the pillow is actually going from my low back up, so it's just coming out where my armpits are, kind of thing. And I'm going to do the same thing and take the arms out to the sides and be like this. Now, if this doesn't feel quite right, remember you're rolling to the side to come out. You can pop the pillow off to one side and grab your blanket roll. Now the nice thing with the blanket roll is that it can be as big or as small as you want it to be. So if that really felt quite big through, like opening through the chest, then do like a really teeny tiny little blanket roll. And this blanket roll is going to go like where a bra strap would at the back, so kind of very much mid-back, even maybe tiny bit higher than a bra strap. So it's going to feel like it's coming out from just here, like again under the armpits. So if I show you again with this one, I'm going to come back And yes, it's coming out just underneath my armpits. Now, everyone's body is slightly different, so if that doesn't quite feel right, you can shuffle it down just a little. I like having my legs extended on this one, but again, that is personal preference, and what we want is what suits your body, what is your personal preference. And if you've tried the rolled up blanket and you think, oh no, I don't like that, then you can just roll to the side again, move it out of the way, or equally if you think you want more, so if you want 2 pillows, if you want a much bigger blanket roll, yeah, go with your body. That's the whole idea. Whatever feels most comfortable for you. I'm going to go with 2 pillows because I know that's what I like. And again, we're going to stay here for a couple of minutes. See how you would like your legs. I'm going to go for legs extended this time. So a little reminder, if you're coming back to your pillows, the pillows are going underneath from your low back all the way up to your shoulder blades, so they come out just by the armpits. Arms can come out to the sides again, or they could rest onto the body. You could bring them almost like around the pillows and then just gently hold the pillows if that feels nice, or you can come up and over. Now, because we haven't got any support under our head in this pose, that's why this feels like a bit more of an opening. Whereas before, the opening was happening more kind of like lower down. It probably feels when you're here like it's happening lower down more than it was in the last one, but that's just because you're going up and over this set of pillows into like a little, I'm going to call it a bridge shape. This isn't a bridge pose, this is heart opening pose, but you're making a little bridge over your props. And arms over the head, yeah, increases the stretch that bit more as well. So if this feels like too much, your other option as well is to just bring one of your blankets or something back in and pop it underneath your head to lift it up a little, and that'll decrease the stretch. Same thing with bending the knees, resettle the pelvis, that'll decrease the stretch a little. We're going to stay here, like I say, just for a couple of minutes, so you can start to close your eyes. If at any point the pose is just too much, that is absolutely fine. And you can just roll your way to one side, come out, and then just lay flat on the floor if that feels nice. And when we come into poses like this, where we're doing a little back bend, it can be nice to bring the awareness again to the breath. And in particular, how the breath feels across the low ribs. So just noticing, are you a little bit more aware of this area across the low ribs? And I'm not necessarily saying that your breath will be deeper or will have changed particularly. It might be that because of the angle that you're at, you're more aware of the pressure of the breath across here. In fact, it might be really helpful to notice if it does feel a lot tighter, or if the breath feels a little more challenging. This might be a real indicator that there is tension being held across the diaphragm or the front of the body. So you can allow your body to relax into the pose. Trying to release any tension that you might be holding in the body in particular this time. So allowing the grounding sensation of your bottom, your pelvis on the floor, The grounding sensation of your head and shoulders touching the floor. Exhaling, allowing your body to drop into that support. Know that your back is fully supported. You don't need to change your breath in any way. You can simply allow it to just be as it is. And when you're ready, if your knees were bent, straighten your legs out. If your legs were straight, bend your knees. Maybe bring your arms in for a hug or stretch them up towards the sky. And then with your knees bent, rolling over to one side. And press yourself up to sitting. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do a forward fold. So we quite often do this in yoga where we've done a back bend and we do what we call a counter pose. So back bend, we go into a forward fold. Now for this, you can have your legs however you like. So I've got really tight hamstrings, which means I'm going to have a cross leg. But if you find sitting with the legs extended much more comfortable, then please do that. You can also have the legs wider apart. You could have the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor. This may or may not work with your props. We might just do an unsupported forward fold. But if you can, grab your pillows or your blanket and just pop them into your lap, or if you've got the legs wide, into the floor in the middle. And then I want you to just give the props a little hug and just let yourself drop forwards into them. You can drop with your chin, you just have the head slightly off to one side. I might bring an extra blanket in. I'm just going to stay here for a few breaths. You could allow the hands to drop forwards onto the floor, or if they do feel comfy up in front, you could rest your chin or your forehead onto your arms. As we round forward, see if you can bring softness into your shoulders. Softness into the back of your neck. So even if you are supporting under your chin or your forehead, see if you can imagine the chin dropping towards your chest, just to get that release through the back of your neck. Allow the weight of your body to be dropping forwards into your support. Feel a gentle opening through your back. Noticing how your breath feels in this pose. As you inhale, are you a little more aware of the breath in the back of your body, across maybe the shoulder blades? start to press yourself back up to sitting. You might keep your eyes closed for a moment. Maybe your chin is still dropping towards your chest. You can rest your arms onto your blankets. Good. Then start to open your eyes and pop your props back off to one side. So we're going to do a twist now. I'm going to give you two choices because I know not everyone likes lying on their tummies. So the first option I'm going to show you on your tummy, and then I will show you on your back instead. So I'm going to use the two pillows off my bed again. You can use the folded blankets like we did for the first pose, so the fish pose. So you might have your blankets in this kind of setup. Just basically something where you can comfortably rest the length of your body and your head onto your pillows, props, whatever. So you're going to bring one hip just in front of the pillows and then have your knees pointing out at a 90-degree angle roughly to your pillows. I'm going to turn your body to look towards the pillows. I'm going to shuffle my hip back just slightly and then walk your way forwards, one hand either side of the pillows, and then you're going to come and rest down. Now I'm going to turn just very slightly to make sure that you can see me. So one arm either side and then coming down. Once you've come down, you might choose to bring your arms round to hug the pillows. You can have them slightly further down or even further away. Legs are up to you. I find it's always helpful to keep the top leg coming just forward slightly. So you could straighten it out if that feels nice. Or you could have the top leg forwards and then bent and the other leg straight. You can kind of play around with it a little bit. I always tend to just keep both legs mostly bent. Now, if this doesn't feel comfortable or it's too much of a twist, then instead come onto your back and bring your pillows down by your knees. So you're going to lay on your back. You can have a pillow under your head as well, and then both knees bent, pillows on one side, and both knees head over towards the pillows. You might even shuffle the hips around just very slightly. If this doesn't feel like enough, put some more props in. I can fold my pillows in half, have them going up and over. And then, yeah, whichever one that you have chosen, we are just going to do a couple of minutes on one side and then we'll switch to the other. I'm just going to return to, this is called a front lying twist, and then the other one is called a supine twist. So I'm going to switch back to my front lying twist and come down. This is another nice opportunity to soften through the shoulders and across the upper back. Starting to soften your gaze or close your eyes. It might be another nice opportunity for you to check in with your breath. So if you're on your front, maybe the gentle pressure of your props underneath you means that you're slightly more aware of the breath in the front of your body. Or
perhaps the fact that you are creating openness through the back of your body means that you're more aware of the breath through your back. Like with all of these things, there's no right or wrong way for you to be feeling this. Everything that I'm asking you to notice is just so that you get to know your body a little bit better. If you're lying on your back, you might just notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest or your tummy with the breath. And then when you're ready, if you're on your front, just start to lift the head, press into the hands, walk your way back up, and then move over to the other side. So you can literally just turn over, and then one hand either side of the pillow, and walk your way down. If you're on your back, then all you need to do is just lift the knees, move your props over to the other side, and then drop the knees over to the other side. If you are on your back, something just to be mindful of is you might need a different amount of props on one side than on the other. We are inherently very wonky. So if you find that the knees are dangling on this side now, prop them up more. There's nothing wrong with doing something slightly different on each side. It doesn't usually apply as much when we're lying on our fronts, in the front lying version, but if you do find that you think you need to be a bit higher, you need more props under your body, then do just put them in. Remember, you can have one leg bent and one leg straight if that feels nice, and that's whether you're on your back or your front. Softness in your shoulders. Softness across your back. See if you can invite some softness into your tummy as well, and through your hips. And because this pose is a twist, we are getting a nice movement through the lower spine. And that will be just gently moving and compressing our internal organs, which is good for increasing blood flow and trying to help with keeping movement. We're all very familiar with the adhesions that endometriosis can cause. So trying to gently move our bodies helps. just thought there's a lot of conversation around the idea of twists in yoga being good for digestion. And if you have normal digestion, then you don't need a yoga pose to help you. However, if you do have difficulties with bowel symptoms, then gentle twists can be really helpful, particularly for constipation. And then if you're on your tummy, just slowly starting to press into the arms and hands, lifting the head, and really slowly walk your way up to sitting. If you're on your back, then just bring the knees up. We're going to be on our backs for the next pose anyway, so you don't have to move that far. I'm going to invite you to come into your Shavasana. So this is our final relaxation pose. It translates as corpse pose, which always sounds quite morbid, but in yoga we like to talk a lot about death and the idea of what happens afterwards and how we prepare ourselves in a positive and, I don't know, I suppose a considered mindset. So our corpse pose today, I'm going to invite you to have your props underneath your knees, whether that is your rolled up blankets, pillows, cushions, whatever it is. And then you can just come to lie back. You might have something under your head as well. If you like an eye pillow, it's a great opportunity to pop on an eye pillow. And I always like, whether I've got a pillow or a blanket or anything, just to do a little extra tuck just underneath my neck. So I just pull it slightly further underneath so that the neck is just a little bit more supported than if your blanket or pillow is just like flat underneath you. You might choose to rest your hands onto your body or down to the sides, whatever feels most comfortable. And then just start to close your eyes or soften your gaze. And take a moment to make sure that you feel really comfortable. If there's anything that you need to adjust, whether it is lumps of clothing, you can feel your jewellery or the props, just take a moment to adjust them now. Make sure that you feel your most comfortable. And I'm going to read you a little breathwork exercise. Exercise makes it sound like you're going to have to do something and you really, really aren't. So a little breathwork practice from my favourite breathing book, which is The Breathing Book by Donna Farhi. And this is following the law of the breath. Feel the weight of your body surrendering to the support beneath you. Soften the skin across your forehead and allow it to become smooth. Sense into the muscles around your eyes. Let any tension there dissolve with each outgoing breath. Let the jaw fall open and release your temples back to the ears. Allow your lips to part slightly, relaxing the tongue and all the muscles around your lips. Feel down into your throat, taking a moment to swallow a couple of times to relax any constriction you might find there. As you open the throat, let your exhalation pass out through your mouth for a few breaths, sighing as you do. Send your awareness into your shoulders and down through your arms, inviting heaviness into the arms, feeling the weight of them. Gently pull on your shoulders to encourage them to soften more into the ground beneath you. Feel where each part of your back rests into the ground. Let your exhale soften your back into that support. Release any tension you might be holding in your tummy. Invite softness into your hip sockets and heaviness into your pelvis. Feel the weight of your legs and feet surrendering to the ground beneath you. Now draw your attention to your breath. Listen to the sound of the breath and feel the sensation of the breath. As you perceive the breath, let the sound or sensation of it draw you inward like the most tantalizing lure. This listening to the breath has the same quality of rapt attention that you have when you strain to hear music far in the distance. Let the breath lure you back to yourself. Follow each breath as it arises and each breath as it passes away. Sense the first perceptible moment of the incoming breath and sense the very last whispers of the outgoing breath. Watch your breath as you might watch the waves of the ocean, endlessly arising, endlessly descending, changing from moment to moment. Now deep, now shallow, now long, now short, now smooth, now uneven. Follow the way that the breath changes from moment to moment. Begin to focus more of your attention on the exhalation. Allow your mind to glide down the length of an exhalation to the very last whisper of the breath. Let the exhalation lure you down into the dark, quiet well of your being. Perceive the pause, however brief. With each successive exhalation, let your attention rest more deeply on the pause at the end of the outgoing breath. This is the origin of the breath, where the breath arises and where the breath returns to. Let your entire being fall back into the pause, trusting that the new breath will arise without any effort on your part. As you surrender to the pause, it will become longer and more spacious. As you feel yourself entering a deep state of relaxation, let go of even the effort of following the lure of the breath and become the breath itself. It breathes you. Know that you can use the lure of your breath to return to yourself at any time, in any situation. Your breath is an ever-present resource that you can always draw from for rest and replenishment. We're coming to the end of our practice today, and if you would like to stay in your Shavasana, then you can. There's no reason why you have to move. If you do, however, want to step back into your day, then just very slowly start to bring movement back into your body, wiggling fingers and toes. You might bend your knees or hug them in towards your chest, maybe taking a rock from side to side. And then, however is best for you, start to bring yourself up to a comfortable seat, keeping your eyes closed or a soft gaze. You're welcome to rest your hands into your lap, or maybe bring the palms of the hands over your heart space. Take a moment in gratitude to yourself for taking the time to practice today. We'll take 3 breaths, inhaling through the nose, sighing them out through the mouth. And you can release your hands. Start to open your eyes, bring yourself back into the room.